And if they put it down incorrectly, let me know. You state, the defendant states he was aware he was not to have a gun, but wanted one as his son-in-law had bought one. Is that the case?
Yes, sir.
Court is calling 2024 CR 1048, State versus Jose Carmona. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? For the defense?
Bernard Campion for Mr. Carmona, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Carmona? All right, you entered a plea of guilty on August 19th. The court found there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty. You applied for deferred adjudication and community supervision. According to your plea bargaining agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 8 years in the prison. There's $1,000 fine. The state is silent on your application. And this is to run concurrent with 732605. Just one moment. There it is. All right, counsel, have you had a chance to review the PSI report?
We have, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
State, did you have a chance to review the PSI report?
Yes.
Any objection? All right, the state is silent. Defense, do you have any witnesses?
We do have a witness, Your Honor, and then, of course, we'd like to call Mr. Carmona briefly, but first we'd like Gracie Castanuela.
All right, Ms. Costanuela. And you'll need to be standing over there. All right, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up so that the court reporter can hear. What I've discovered when attorneys are before me and they start asking questions, usually the witness will turn here and turn their back to the court reporter, and it makes it difficult for the court reporter. So remember not to do that. And if you'll state your name for the record.
Gracie Castanuela.
All right, can you spell that, please?
Gracie. Gracie Castanuela, Castanuela.
All right, defense.
Thank you. Ms. Castanuela, how old are you now? How old are you? And can you tell me your
All right,
relation?
let's do this, because you all have already started turning your back. Just ease over that way. I can hear you because this is my good ear, and just turn towards the court reporter.
Thank you, Your Honor. Could you briefly tell us your relationship with Armando Carmona, Jose Armando Carmona? And you said your
I'm
sister.
sorry, what did you say?
The sister.
If you could
Okay.
speak up just a little bit. Yeah.
You close, move up closer, ma'am, make to the microphone. The front.
You just do so. And in relation to your family circumstances, have you had and do you have regular contact with your brother? It's Jose Armando, but he goes by Armando, is that right? And can you briefly describe for us his circumstances involving his children, how many children he has and their circumstances?
He has 2 children. I believe that they're 13 and 12.
So it's 3 minor children.
Yes.
Now he has 1 older daughter by a
Yeah.
prior marriage, correct?
Yeah.
And all of his, has he been active and supportive in the lives of his children?
Yes. Very.
In fact, he has done his best to try to guide them and steer them and to really help them learn from his mistakes.
Yes.
His oldest daughter, Brianna, is been accepted to nursing school at UT Health Sciences.
Yes. I believe she graduates this coming year.
So she's got 1 more year left in nursing school.
Yes.
His other 3 minor children. Well, first, the mother of those children, she is deceased, is that right?
Yes. Sir.
Do you know what type of illness or disease that caused her passing?
I'm not sure what it's called, but it's a hereditary blood disease.
So she was very young, but she's been deceased now for several years, right? And with her passing from that medical condition, has the primary responsibility for the upbringing and financial support of his children fallen on Armando?
Yes. But the kids are staying with us.
I'm sorry, could you keep your voice up?
Yeah.
And people, could you also please whisper?
So has he provided financial support to his children? And does he still?
Yes.
And without that financial support, does it create a hardship for the family?
I believe so, yes.
If you could speak.
Oh, yes.
Okay, and when I say the family, we're talking about your extended family, is that right? How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have one sister and I have two brothers.
And the other two siblings besides you and Armando, they have some significant disability and health issues, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
So their ability to assist in caring for not just minor children, but also elderly parents is somewhat limited, correct?
Correct.
And speaking of which, I guess your mother and Armando's mother is somewhat, not somewhat, but disabled, is that correct?
That's correct.
In a rehab center.
Correct.
And when she is not in the rehab center, does Armando provide support and care for her?
Yes, I live.
Okay, so in fact, he was residing with her full time until she went into the rehab center, is that right? And he took care of her on a daily basis.
Correct.
And if is it hope that she would be out of rehab sometime soon?
Yes.
And is it the hope and desire of the family that Armando would be able to assist and resume care of her?
Yes.
Okay. And so we're not talking about just financial, we're talking about the actual physical care too.
Yes.
And in terms of the care, he has always maintained employment, is that right?
Yes.
And have you ever noticed any extravagant spending on himself or
No.
is
No.
basically, other than his essential needs, everything he earns goes for the support of his children and family, is that right?
Correct.
And he's still employed at this time.
Yes. Yes.
And you're employed as well, correct?
Yes.
Where do you work?
At the Toyota.
And you have a full-time shift at Toyota.
Yes,
And I assume you have minor children as well.
I do.
So, so in Armando's absence, there's a tremendous hardship on primarily his children, is that right?
Yes.
And as part, in terms of their upbringing and lives, have you seen Armando to be active in their lives, not just providing financial support, but on a day-to-day basis?
Yes.
Or are they all good kids?
Oh.
None of them have criminal records,
No, no.
and they're good students?
Yes,
Do they, does he encourage them to get enrolled in extracurriculars?
yes, I are.
And he attends extracurricular events with them?
Well, but he can't, it's on the monitor.
Right. I'll pass it.
Your name is Stephanie Carmel.
No, Gracie Castanuela.
I'm sorry.
Gracie Castanuela.
Okay, thank you. No questions.
All right, thank you.
I'd like to call Mr. Carmona.
All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth, that nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
All
All right, defense.
Yes, okay. Mr. Carmona, as you've heard with your sister, the court reporter needs to.
Okay.
So, but without showing disrespect to the court, if you could make sure that your voice is directed in this direction. I know you speak somewhat
Yes, sir.
soft.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to ask you first, Carmona, about your pre-trial supervision on this matter. Today is October 10th of 24, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
As part of your pretrial supervision, when you were released on bond, did they install or instruct you as conditioned bond that you would have a monitor, electronic monitor?
Yes, sir.
Do you know what day that was installed?
October 10th, 2023.
So today is the 1-year anniversary of having the monitor, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And in the last year that you've been on bond and on monitor, has there been even one violation of any of your pretrial conditions?
No, sir.
And we've had to come to the court many times to get permission for you to attend functions for your children, whether it was admission ceremony to college or choir concerts or sporting events. We've done all that, correct?
Yes, sir.
And so, to the best of your ability, given the restrictions of your monitor, have you been active in the lives of your children?
Yes, sir. Yes,
And-
I could, yes.
And you have how many children?
4 total, 3 minor.
Three minors. And in terms of the 3 minors, are you providing support for them,
Yes,
financial support?
yes.
Where are you working?
I'm working at Pioneer Flour Mills,
And you've been there for what, 3 months? or
3
so?
months now.
And prior to that, have you always maintained full employment?
Yes, sir.
And prior to that, was Zachary Construction?
Yes, sir.
And of course, when you had to go to different job sites, there was issues with the monitor and approval, correct?
Yes, sir. At times it was.
So the current job with Pioneer, you are allowed to stay in one spot.
Yes, sir.
So it's worked out well.
Yes,
And have you been notified that if you were provided some means by which you could remain out of custody, that not only is your job secure, but that you were in line for a promotion?
yes, sir.
And what did they tell you would be making?
21.50 an hour.
And where does that money go?
To my family, my children, some to myself, of course, but mainly to my children.
Other than your immediate essential needs, just or just the essentials of life, do you basically provide the entirety of the support for your children?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And they're not going to just disintegrate in your absence, but it's certainly going to be a hardship on not just your family, but primarily your children,
Yes,
if you're not working.
yes, sir.
Let me ask you about your circumstances in that regard. Your wife, the mother of the children, Stephanie Pomona, was diagnosed with a serious blood illness.
Oh. HHT.
Okay, and if she passed away.
Yes, sir.
And do you know whether any of your children have been diagnosed with that disease?
All 3 of them have it.
So they're doing well physically now, but there's
No.
medical issues that have to be dealt with as well.
Yes. Well, my 12-year-old is
And in fact, has your daughter already had surgery or more? One or
3
more
of
sur-
them.
3 surgeries?
Yes.
Okay. So they are the focus of your life, is that right?
Yes, sir.
In addition to your children, have you and would you continue to provide care for your elderly mother?
Yes. Yes, sir.
And in fact, you lived with her until she went into the rehab.
Yes, sir.
If she gets out of rehab, she would be living with you,
Yes.
is that right? And you'd be basically responsible for her day-to-day care.
Yes, sir.
Your work schedule is such that you put in a full day, but the shifts kind of vary, so you would have time to do that.
Yes, sir.
And your children that you have basically tried to raise as best you can, they're all doing well, is that right?
Yes, sir.
They're all productive.
Yes,
Positive.
sir. All of them. Yes, sir.
None of them have criminal records.
No.
You tried to teach them from your mistakes.
Yes, sir.
And have you encouraged them into extracurricular activities?
Yes, my 2 middle ones have it. They're middle school.
Is your daughter in choir,
Yes, and volleyball also.
volleyball, and your son's in basketball, football?
Right now he's in football.
And not only do you encourage them in a positive direction, you support them in terms of attending events and providing assistance in terms of the financial needs to participate in those activities.
Yes, sir.
No question, you've made a lot of mistakes in your life.
Yes, sir.
Is there any question in your mind that if given the opportunity, you could adhere to any terms and conditions that this court might set for supervision?
I know I could.
And for the last year plus, there's not been one dirty UA, correct?
No violation.
And they've tested you at work as well.
Yes, sir.
And So you are completely sober and drug free,
Yes, sir.
and no question in your mind, you can remain that way.
Yes, sir.
And even the strictest of conditions, you will abide by.
Yes, sir.
I'll pass it.
Any questions? All right, I have a few. So the marijuana that was in your car, you said that you had loaned your vehicle to someone else?
Yes, ma'am.
Who was that?
A friend of mine, and David, and David.
David what?
And Tele, and Tele.
All right, and then this person you bought the weapon from, who was that?
I don't know personally, but a friend, a friend.
Well, no, it says here you bought the gun from a man that said he was associated with the military. So who is this friend who gave you information for this person?
I used to work with him downtown. That's what I got introduced to this man like him.
So who is he?
The
What's
man
his
that
name?
left him.
No, the friend.
You know, right to work with? No, Ryan.
Hmm?
The name of Ryan.
Ryan what?
I'm not sure I know his last name.
But this is your friend.
Well, not, it was just an acquaintance from work. I used to work at the Riverwalk downtown.
So let me just tell you what my problem is with your application.
Yes, ma'am.
You're habitual, that was waived. One of your cases that was waived, and it's in the PSI, is assault family with previous conviction. Who is the complainant in that case?
I'm not sure what case this is. No, it's the- no. I believe it's- I believe it's all-
No.
Oh, it's my wife, my deceased wife.
All right. And then you have an assault bodily injury from 1997. And then you had an assault bodily injury from 1999. And then you have an assault bodily injury married from 2013. And I'm assuming that's the wife who's deceased.
Yes.
Then you had a possession case that was reduced and you were placed on probation and it was revoked because you didn't successfully complete it. Then, and that was in 2006. Then 2013, you had another possession case. You were given deferred adjudication for. You didn't successfully complete it. You were revoked. And then you had an assault family second offense. And I'm assuming that's against the your deceased wife as well. And you were given probation for that and you were revoked and you didn't successfully complete it. And the ag assault with a deadly weapon, that was dismissed for missing witness. I'm not even going to consider that. And then now we have the felon in possession of a weapon. And what you state in your version of events, and if they put it down incorrectly, let me know. You state the defendant states he was aware he was not to have a gun, but wanted one as his son-in-law had bought one. Is that the case?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is there anything else?
Maybe just a brief argument about this.
Yes.
Judge, as you pointed out, very thoroughly, you've got every reason in the world to deny his application. His record speaks for itself, and it is what it is. But despite the fact. Oh, I'm sorry. There's no question about that. But as you've also noted, most of those circumstances are somewhat, some of them are way in the past. Some of them are remotely, are somewhat remotely in the past. But what I think, and there's no question that 15 years ago or so, he had a serious drug problem that caused a lot of issues in his life. He has addressed that in meaningful ways. He did go to treatment. And over time, I think it took effect, and he has been clean and sober now for a number of years. I think that addresses many of the historical issues that present themselves in his case. The fact that he has been on such strict bond conditions for a calendar year, a full calendar year, and it started off with complete lockdown. We were able to finally get that transitioned to partial so that he could resume work. And he in essence has proven himself. I think that a year of what he has been through without a single violation, I am hard pressed to think of a man in his circumstances that has performed as well on pretrial supervision as he has. So, and it hasn't been for just a week or a month, it's been for a full calendar year. So I think the track record he has established since his arrest on this case has established that he's capable and willing to not just comply, but satisfy each and every term of condition the court might impose, no matter how strict. The question is, does his record allow him the opportunity to do that? That's what we're imploring the court to kind of look at the big picture. And when you factor in the circumstances, the family circumstances that are created and with his absence, the hardship that it creates on the children, and the fact that he has proven himself so much for the last year, we're just imploring that the court consider some form or fashion of conditions, a combination of conditions that would satisfy all concerned. Certainly, on paper, he doesn't deserve another chance. Given his performance over the last year and how he's proven himself, we're imploring the court to consider some combination of conditions, as strict as they might be, that would allow him the opportunity to continue to prove himself.
All right, thank you. All right, I want you to know that I would listen to your attorney's arguments. I've listened to the witnesses that have been called, and I always internalize everything that's told to me. And I always reread the stipulations and make sure that I read the TAP evaluation. Here's the court's issue. The issue is that according to your versions of event, you knew you're not supposed to have a weapon. It's the law. You're not supposed to have a weapon. If people don't like that as a law, they need to change it. And according to your version of events, you wanted a weapon because your son-in-law had one. And then you went through back channels because you knew, according to your versions of events, that no one would sell you one. And it's not as though you're a teenager and you're not considering or internalizing the consequences of your action. That's a problem for the court. I don't think that you're a good candidate for probation. I'm going to find you guilty. This we're going to run concurrent with 732-605. I'll give you credit for any time served. There's $1,000 fine. Time and money will run concurrent. I do acknowledge the fact that you've done great on GPS and you've done everything well. Your punishment is set at a cap of 8 years. And based upon how you've been since you've been on GPS, I'm going to sentence him to the 3 years.
Thank you.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. With your history, I know sometimes people will say, oh, it's better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. With your history, you're going to have to ask for permission every time. And you know you're not allowed to have weapons, so you can't have weapon. And then, as you know, when they arrested you, they saw that you had a warrant, and that was for another incident that was dismissed because of a missing witness. And your attorney will talk to you about that, about statute of limitations and all that entails. All right, I wish you nothing but the best. I know that being locked up, that's a lot of time. Anytime, a day at the prison, a day at the Bexar County Jail is a lot of time because you don't have your freedom. But at the end of the day, you can still get out and do better. And your children will be still waiting for you. You understand?
Yeah.
All right, good luck to you. And thank you. I know, I remember you. I know you always dressed appropriately for court, and I want you to know I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 2852. State of Texas versus Elisa Hernandez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense.
Piker from Miss Hernandez.
And are you Ms. Hernandez?
Yes.
Counsel, have you received all of the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
I did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Hernandez, did you review the application for deferred adjudication or community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes,
And did you sign it?
yes, ma'am.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yeah.
Did you review the court admonishments with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram? That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yeah.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yeah.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
She has.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, I do.
Ms. Hernandez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea, there's a $1,500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. They're taking in consideration County Court Cause number 718910, 733657. There's to be a drug court evaluation and MIC evaluation. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, except we're gonna ask for some leniency on the fine, and I'll tell you that later.
Okay. State, is that the plea?
Yes, Judge.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counselor, have there been any such motions?
There have not.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There'll be a top evaluation, 120 hours of community service restitution, no contact with Chachos on US Highway 90 or the Westwood Apartments. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No.
State any evidence?
State offers it to the one and all that.
We did review it, no objection.
Right, state. Did you review the waiver with your client? I mean, the waiver with your attorney, the waiver and stipulations?
Yeah.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and testimony to review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, since the time I met, Ms. Hernandez, she's gotten much better. She had some cognitive issues as far as mental issues at the beginning, but she's been on, Zyprexa at the jail, and over the course of my time representing her, she has come a long way in being able to communicate and understand things. So she's doing very, very much better now. She does have a diagnosis of major depression, mood disorder, and schizophrenia. I'm asking you to consider probating that $1,500 fine. She doesn't have a job at the time, of course, and she is SSDI. She's has a fixed income of $800 a month. If the court does grant her this probation, she will be living with her brother. He lives in Marion, Texas, which if I need permission, if she needs permission, that's in Guadalupe County, so that she can live with her brother. There's
All
no
right.
other children or
Has
anybody
he-
else around.
Is he in agreement to her living with him?
Yes.
Well, did you actually pick up the phone and call him and ask him?
Me?
Yeah,
No.
that, I mean, yes, he knows I'm gonna, he moved over there, he took me over there.
No. I mean, did you pick up the phone and call him and say, can I live with you?
Oh, yes,
And what was his answer?
yes, got
Okay,
me off the street.
all right. And you have no children?
I have 3, but they're married and
No,
I
when I-
still get in contact with them, but
When I said no children, well, I checked to see who was at that house with her brother, and there's no
Children.
minors around.
just him and his.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to a $1,500 fine that will be prorated, 3 years deferred adjudication. Take in consideration County Court Cause number 718-910, 733-657. There's to be a TAP evaluation, felony drug court evaluation, and MIC evaluation in custody. If felony drug court accepts you, they will do so very quickly. Because today is Thursday, they probably won't get a chance to evaluate you until next week, but usually it's about Monday or Tuesday. TAP evaluation usually takes 2 weeks. However, if you accept it into felony drug court, because they have a dual diagnosis program, then that will be the final say. There's to be no contact with Chacho's or the Westwood Apartments. There's to be no contact with Stephen Ray Whitehead. There's regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular random UAs, proof of employment or SSI within 45 days of a release. There's to be no employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. Field visits. Are y'all able to do field visits in this county where she's going to be staying? All right. Probation, is there anything else she needs?
When you see for that working with elderly and children, because I'm a CNA at the center, is that just
Oh,
gonna be for
that's
the
over.
probation? Or
No.
Just for the rest of my life?
Let me just tell you, while you're on probation, I do not allow people in this court to be home healthcare providers or to work with minors. So you're not allowed to do that. Do you understand?
Rest of my life. Just.
While you're on probation with this court, I'm telling you, you're not allowed to do that. And the other
Thank you.
people who are hiring people
Mhm.
who have criminal history, especially felony criminal history, they should be running background checks. Because honestly, would you want someone with
Yeah,
felony
understood.
criminal
I
history?
mean, that's what, because it's like.
It's probably best that you
That's why
not
I'm
do
just
that.
trying to keep an eye on my background.
All right, and it's gonna be 90 sober meetings in 90 days. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes,
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
yes.
And I'm sorry, where does she want to transfer?
Well, she'll be living in Guadalupe County. I don't
All
know
right.
that you need to transfer the probate. You can
Oh,
report
we
to
don't need to
residence.
transfer for Guadalupe County, do we?
Well, they're looking at that. The recommendation was 2 years deferred.
Well, if
You added
she-
one.
Yeah, I want 3 because I don't know what will happen in felony drug court. And that program is a total of 2.
And then the second thing is that you said all this should be done while she's in custody. Is
Yes.
there a way that I can stay in touch or have a status, another status? Because the last time we did
Sure.
this, I was told it would be the next week, and my guy did almost another month.
Well, that's probably because they may have had pending issues, but if you want to speak with Ms. Ferguson, we can have it come back on a specific day. And I would say in 3 weeks tops. All right?
Yeah, just to keep it moving.
There's a court date
Yes.
on Tuesday.
Well, that's municipal.
No, but I would like to put on a condition that she's able to live there. Is that okay?
Yes. All right, everyone, we're going to take our recess.
Okay.
Who's the attorney for Crockett? Are you all ready to proceed? Court is calling 2023 CR 1121, State of Texas versus Javon Crockett. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Defendant Salania,
for the defense?
Leslie Sahanovich for Mr. Crockett.
All right, and are you Mr. Crockett?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision and First Amended Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Javon Crockett who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2023 CR 1121 for the offense of assault, family choking, strangulation on June 6, 2023 for a period of 8 years?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Moving forward with condition number 33. The first one, on or about the 8th day of August 2023 in Verge County, Texas, the defendant, Javon Crockett, failed to submit urinalysis test in violation of condition number 33.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True.
If you violate condition number 33 on or about the 14th day of August 2023 in Verge County, Texas, the defendant, Javon Crockett, failed to submit urinalysis test in violation of condition number 33.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True.
They will be waiving the remaining violations.
Any objection to the state's waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of conditions 33 and 33, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violations 33 and 33?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find 33 and 33 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Judge, we ask the court grant the motion, revoke this community supervision, and sentence him to 5 years CPC. As part of the agreement, the state will be taken into consideration. Case number 2024 PF 16309 is updated by the.
Is that the proposed agreement?
That's.
Are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find 33 true, 33 true. The court will find you guilty, revoke. Taking consideration 2024 PF 1639. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Kayla, Kayla, Berlander, Verlander. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel?
Thank you.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction and also an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And of course, counsel, I gave your client credit for any time that he has been in custody.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. The complainant in this case wants nothing else to do with you. She doesn't know you, you don't know her. That relationship is over. If you insist that that relationship is not over, you're going to find yourself right back here and perhaps going to a prison for longer. You
Oh,
understand?
we've been finished, ma'am.
All right, make sure it stays that way.
Yes, ma'am.
And don't get involved with a relationship until you get an orchid and that orchid reblooms. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Judge?
I'm sorry,
Yes.
Judge, what was the sentence?
Oh, thank you so much. See? What did you all agree to for sentence? 5 years? Thank you, Bashan. 5 years TDC.
Thank you.
All right, good luck. All right, number on Reggie Rice, it's coming back on the 14th of November for discovery. Good morning.
I spent about an hour getting my client's warrant recalled this morning,
Mhm.
so I didn't get much done on my client's case,
Mhm.
which is a forgery, and she has 2 unindicted, not set today possessions. And so I'm just wondering, can you recall it one day next week when I have more time to work on it?
Okay, why was she late for court?
Why were you late?
I was not late this morning, but currently I was.
No,
on
you were
the
late.
side
Let me just tell you,
of-
let me just tell you, there's no
Yes,
kind of late. If you're not here in court at 9 a.m., you're late. So were you here at 9 a.m.?
No, ma'am,
All right, so why were you late?
standing outside.
All right. You need to make sure that you are on time. Do you understand? All right. And Ms. Ferguson, are there warrants on this 4982 case? Because she's listed as a fugitive.
Your Honor, they were lifted this morning. That's what she said. That's the box.
Okay. And then this is not the first time you've been late.
No, ma'am.
You were late on September
September
30th
30th.
as well. Well, so you have a problem with getting to court on time. This is what I'm going to tell you, and I want you to hear me clearly. If you are late for this court again, you're going to be taken into custody. You understand? And then they will make sure, maybe, that you're on time, depending on how the elevators are working. They'll make sure that you're on time because you'll be brought over from the jail. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, so let's recall this back. This is coming back on October 16th.
Is that next week, Your Honor, like I think?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Do I need to sign anything or we're fine?
No, she needs to sign something.
Okay, have a seat.
15 লাখ টাকা পেয়ে গেলেন এরপর কি করবেন?
আমি নিজের নামে একটা রেস্টুরেন্ট ওপেন করতে চাই, এটা করতে পারবো, এটা করতে পারবো।
15 লক্ষ টাকায় রেস্টুরেন্ট হবে না তো?
8 বছর চাকরি করেছি মানবাধিকার সংস্থায়। চাকরি চলাকালীন আমি কোনো কিছু শিখতেও পারছিলাম না, এই বিষয়টা নিয়ে আগাতেও পারছিলাম না। সেজন্য আমি চাকরি ছেড়েছি, এটাতে আগাবো বলে। আমার রেসিপির নাম হলো ভেলভেটি কোকোয়া ক্রেভিং।
জান্নাত কি করেন আপনি?
আমার একটা অনলাইন পেজ আছে যেখানে বাসায় ফুড বানিয়ে সেটা কি বলে সেল করি। কারিগরি প্রশিক্ষণ কেন্দ্র থেকে কয়েকটা বেকিং এবং কুকিংয়ের উপরে সার্টিফাইড কোর্স করেছি এবং বর্তমানে এখন ডিপ্লোমা কালিনারি ম্যানেজমেন্টের উপরে ডিপ্লোমা করছি।
কেন এত পড়াশোনা করেছেন কালিনারি নিয়ে?
নিজেকে একজন প্রফেশনাল শেফ হিসেবে দেখতে চাই।
যখন প্রফেশনাল শেফ হয়ে যাবেন, আমি লাস্ট 7 বছর ঈদে কখনো ছুটি নেইনি। সো ঈদ কমপ্লিটলি গন, হলিডেজ কমপ্লিটলি গন। ফ্যামিলি এটা রাজি হবে? ফ্যামিলি মানবে?
আমি 8 বছর চাকরি করেছি মানবাধিকার সংস্থায়। চাকরি চলাকালীন আমি কোনো কিছু শিখতেও পারছিলাম না, এই বিষয়টা নিয়ে আগাতেও পারছিলাম না। সেজন্য আমি চাকরি ছেড়েছি, এটাতে আগাবো বলে। আর চাকরি যখন করেছি তখন আমার ছেলেকে আমার মা, আমার বোন, ওরা হলো কি দেখাশোনা করেছে।
আপনার কেন মনে হচ্ছে যে সেরা রাঁধুনি সেই প্ল্যাটফর্ম যেটা আপনাকে শেফ হতে সাহায্য করবে?
যারা এই কালিনারি জগতে আসতে চায় তাদের জন্য একটা সেরা প্ল্যাটফর্ম হলো সেরা রাঁধুনি। সব কিছু একটা শক্ত হাতের প্রয়োজন হয় কোনো কিছুতে সামনে আগিয়ে যেতে, তো আমার কাছে শক্ত হাত সেই সেরা রাঁধুনিটা।
শেফ আমরা কি করতে পারি বলেন?
নিয়ে যাই ওয়েটিং কার্ড দিয়ে।
ওয়েটিং কার্ড দিয়ে দিচ্ছি।
4 বছরের অপেক্ষা।
কি নাম তোমার?
ফাতেমা খাতুন ঋতু।
কি বানিয়েছো আজকে?
ডেজার্ট বানিয়েছি হানি সানফ্লাওয়ার। আমি এখানে বাকলাভা করছি ক্রিম চিজ দিয়ে, যেখানে আমি ক্রিম চিজে ইউজ করেছি হানি।
সো দিস ইজ আ বাকলাভা।
বাকলাভা এবং চিজ,
আউটার লেয়ারটা বাকলাভার
এবং উপরে চিজ কেক,
চিজ কেক, এন্ড দেন দিস
দম চিকেন, আর ওইটা নান বানাইছি আমি।
এই দুটো রেসিপি থেকে যদি যে কোনো একটা সিলেক্ট করতে হয়, আমি যদি বলি আপনাকে আমি একটার জন্য মার্ক করব, সেটা কি হবে?
তাহলে বাকলাভা চিজ কেক।
কেন?
বাকলাভা আমার বেকিং খুব ভালো লাগে করতে।
কয়েকটি কুইজিনের নাম বলেন।
আচ্ছা, মানে আমি ইতালিয়ান, তারপর এইভাবে বলবো কি, পাস্তা, তারপর পিৎজা, ইন্ডিয়ান কুইজিনের মধ্যে আসে বিরিয়ানি, তারপর হলো বিভিন্ন ধরনের রায়তা, রাবড়ি, এগুলা। আর টার্কিশ ডেজার্ট করেছি। টার্কিশ ডেজার্টে বাকলাভা তো আসেই। থাই কুইজিনে হলো টম ইয়াম স্যুপ আছে, তারপরে হলো থাই ফ্রাইড রাইস আছে। একটু
লেটস সে আমরা আপনাকে আজকে সিলেক্ট করলাম, আপনি শোতে এসে শো জিতে গিয়েছেন,
ওকে।
15 লাখ টাকা পেয়ে গেলেন, এরপর কি করবেন?
আমি নিজের নামে একটা রেস্টুরেন্ট ওপেন করতে চাই। এটা করতে পারবো, এটা করতে পারবো।
15 লক্ষ টাকায় রেস্টুরেন্ট হবে না তো?
যতটুকু হোক,
বাকিটা
ছোট হোক বা বড় হোক, যতটুকু হোক আমি করব।
যদি আজকে এখানে সুযোগ না পান, তাহলে কি আপনার জার্নিটা থেমে যাবে?
না না না, অবশ্যই না, আমি আবার চেষ্টা করব।
আই লাইক দ্য স্পিরিট। আপনার ফুডের টেস্ট ভালো,
থ্যাংক ইউ।
এখন খুশি হতে পারেন। আপনাকে যখন 15 লাখ টাকা জিতেছেন, আপনি ইমাজিন করতে বলছি আপনি অনেক খুশি হয়ে গিয়েছিলেন।
না না, এমন কিছু না। ঢাকা অবধি যাই, তখন হয়তো ইমাজিন করতে পারবো যে আমি অনেকটা একটা ধাপ হলেও এগিয়ে আসতে
ইমাজিন
পারছি।
করেন আপনি ওয়েটিং কার্ড পেয়ে গিয়েছেন।
হ্যাঁ, আচ্ছা,
পেয়ে গিয়েছেন।
সত্যি?
জি, চলে আসুন।
আমার মাঝে আমি সেরা রাধুনী।
Mình đang tô phần lông của chú vịt mẹ với cái màu tím nha.
Chú Khắc ơi, cái giấy khai sinh đấy có cần ngay hôm nay không? Hôm nay cháu không đi công chứng được, nếu mà cần ngay thì phải dùng bản sao. Nhưng mà hơi tiếc bản sao vì hôm đấy nhà cháu làm có mấy cái. Tưởng là chưa cần ngay để mai cháu đi công chứng thì lấy bản công chứng. Nhưng mà nếu cần ngay thì để lại nộp bản sao vậy. Bản sao hôm đấy nhà cháu lại làm hơi ít. Làm có 5 cái thì lại nộp hôm trước một cái rồi hôm nay 2 cái nữa là 3 cái. Thế thôi đưa luôn, hôm nào cháu lại đi làm vậy. Tưởng là chưa cần gấp ấy thì là để cháu công chứng thì nó dễ hơn. Công chứng thì công chứng ở đâu cũng được, nhưng mà bản sao thì phải đúng ủy ban. Vâng, cần luôn thì lấy luôn. Vâng. Thế chú nhé. Mình đã tô xong với cái màu tím rồi nhá. Mình sẽ cắt cái màu tím lên đi. Với phần lông của chú vịt con mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu vàng nha. Với cái phần mỏ và phần chân cũng vẫn là cái màu nâu. Mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu nâu này.
আপনার রাইস যেটা জি খুব যে খারাপ হয়েছে সেটা না
On top of that, it is slightly overcooked.
আমার নাম প্রীতি ইসলাম। আমি আজকে কোকোনাট রাইস রান্না করেছি। কোকোনাট রাইস উইথ গ্রিল চিকেন অ্যান্ড কোরিয়ান্ডার সস, সাথে পামকিনের আরেকটা সস দিয়েছি। ডেজার্টে দিয়েছি বাহারি মোহনভোগ।
আপনার মানে এই যে রেসিপি জি সব কিছু মিলিয়ে কি মনে হয় সেরা রাঁধুনিতে পার্টিসিপেট করার জন্য এটা দিস ইজ বেস্ট রেসিপি?
জি, আমার কাছে মনে হয় যে এটা বেস্ট হবে।
প্রীতি, ফার্স্ট থিং আমি আপনাকে টেকনিক্যাল জিনিসটা বলি,
Yeah, sure.
ঠিক আছে? It's very dry. Second জিনিস হলো গিয়ে whole roast is not the ideal thing to do when you're serving this at a restaurant or এরকম একটা কুকিং শোতে. You don't expect the judges or the customer এটাকে কেটে নেবে. On top of that, it is slightly overcooked.
এখন একটু আমরা টেস্ট করে দেখি। আপনার রাইস যেটা জি খুব যে খারাপ হয়েছে সেটা না, ভালো,
থ্যাংক ইউ।
আর ডেজার্টটাও মাইল্ড, মানে মিষ্টির ব্যালেন্সটা ভালো আছে।
জি জি।
কিন্তু ব্যাপারটা হয় কি যে যখন আমরা অডিশনে আসি তখন এতগুলো জিনিস দিয়ে আসলে অডিশন না।
আমি
দরকার
এনেছি
ছিল
কারণ
না।
আমি হচ্ছে ফুল প্ল্যাটারটাই সার্ভ করতে
ঠিক আছে,
এটা আমার ইন্টেনশন ছিল।
এতগুলো না দিয়েও আপনি শুধু একটার উপর যদি ফোকাস দিতেন
জি জি।
তাও মনে হয় আপনার
আমি
বেস্ট হতো।
সবগুলোর উপরে সমান ফোকাস দিয়েছি, বাই মিস্টেকেনলি একটু ফল্ট হয়েছে হয়তো, কিন্তু আমি চেষ্টা করছি খুব যত্ন করে করার অ্যাকচুয়ালি।
আসলে যত্নের ছোঁয়া এখানে আছে আমি দেখতে পাচ্ছি, এবং রেসিপির মধ্যেও আমার কাছে ভিন্নতা লেগেছে, আর কিছু টেকনিক্যাল ফল্ট আছে। তো আমার মনে হয় ওইগুলো যদি একটু কারেকশন করা যায় তাহলে
ইট ওয়াজ গুড।
প্রীতি, the chicken has flavor, চিকেনটা মজা, সসটাও মজা, রাইট? বাট বেসিকে প্রবলেম হয়ে গেছে। বেসিক ইজ আপনার কুকিংটাই তো ওভারকুকড।
আমাকে অ্যাকচুয়ালি পোলট্রি চুজ করতে হতো মেবি এই ক্ষেত্রে।
ফার্মের মুরগি ইউজ করলে মনে হয়
পোলট্রিটা বেশি জুসি,
অফ কোর্স।
আমার এটা ফল্ট হয়েছে, এটা আমি বুঝছি।
প্রীতি, আই থিঙ্ক ওভারঅল টেস্ট ভালো আছে and I think it's a good effort. We want to give you a chance.
থ্যাংক ইউ, থ্যাংক
ওয়েট
ইউ।
করেন, আসেন আপনাকে ওয়েটিং কার্ড দেওয়া হবে।
আমার খুবই ভালো লাগছে যে আমি ওয়েটিং কার্ডটা পেয়ে গেছি। আমি কিন্তু কনফিডেন্ট ছিলাম যে আমি ওয়েটিং কার্ডটা পাবো, আর আমি এখন অপেক্ষায় আছি নেক্সট রাউন্ডে ঢাকা যাওয়ার জন্য। আমি আশাবাদী যে আমি ঢাকা পর্যন্ত যেতে পারবো।
Hello, xin chào các bạn đến với kênh YouTube của mình nha. Hôm nay chúng mình sẽ cùng nhau tô màu bức tranh một bông hoa mặt trời. Chúng mình cùng tô màu nha. một bông hoa mặt trời. Mình sẽ tô phần đôi môi nha, với cái màu đỏ nè. Đây là đôi môi nha. Với đôi môi là cái màu đỏ. Mình đã tô xong nha. Cái màu hồng. Cái màu hồng phấn mình sẽ tô hai bên má nha. Hai bên má bằng cái màu hồng phấn này. Mình đã tô xong một bên rồi này.
ওয়াও মনে হয়, ভিজুয়ালি দেখতে অনেক সুন্দর হয়েছে।
হ্যাঁ, প্রেজেন্টেশনটা ভালো।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
ওয়েটিং কার্ড পেয়েছি। ঢাকা অডিশনের জন্য একটু টেনশন হচ্ছে নেক্সট রাউন্ডে আমি যেতে পারবো কিনা।
আমার মাঝে আমি সেরা রাধুনী
সুরাইয়া পারভিন, কি বানিয়েছেন আপনি?
আমি একটি ডেজার্ট নিয়ে এসেছি আজকে, লেয়ার কার্ড ফ্যান্টাসি।
আমি জানি না টেস্ট কেমন, আমি জাস্ট আপনার প্লেটিংটা দেখেই ওয়াও মনে হয়। ডেজার্ট ছাড়া আপনি ইন্টারন্যাশনাল কুইজিন আর কি বানাতে পারেন?
থাই, চাইনিজটা পারি।
থাই আর চাইনিজ কুইজিনের মধ্যে পার্থক্যটা কি বলতে পারবেন?
কিছুটা কাছাকাছি, কারণ এই দুটার মধ্যে আপনার যেই জিনিস প্রোডাক্টগুলো আমরা ইউজ করি প্রায় একই রকম।
অনেকটা ডিফারেন্স আছে। থাই খুব ঝাল হয়, চাইনিজ অত ঝাল হয় না। আর থাইতে প্রচুর কোকোনাট ইউজ করে, চাইনিজে অত কোকোনাট ইউজ হয় না। এছাড়াও এরকম অনেক উদাহরণ আছে
জি
দুটো ফুডের মধ্যে।
জি,
সেরা রাঁধুনিতে কেন এসেছেন?
আমি মনে করি ম্যাম সেরাধনী একটা হচ্ছে বিশাল বড় একটা প্ল্যাটফর্ম, যেখানে নিজেকে আমি উপস্থাপন করতে পারবো সবার সামনে, আমি আমার প্রতিভাকে দেখাতে পারবো। ফিউচারে আমার খুব ইচ্ছা নিজেকে একজন সফল উদ্যোক্তা হিসেবে তৈরি করা। আমি মনে করি সেরাধনী আমাকে সেই প্ল্যাটফর্মটা আমাকে তৈরি করে দিবে।
আজকে যদি আমরা আপনাকে ওয়েটিং কার্ড না দিই তাহলে আপনার কেমন লাগবে?
ভালো খারাপ দুইটাই লাগবে। কার্ড পেলে ভালো লাগবে, না পেলে ইনশাল্লাহ পরের বার আরও ভালোভাবে চেষ্টা করে আসবো।
আপনি তো আমাদের আগের চ্যালেঞ্জেসগুলো দেখেছেন, অনেক ইন্টারন্যাশনাল, অনেক ফিউশন, অনেক ডিফারেন্ট টাইপ অফ চ্যালেঞ্জেস থাকে। সো আপনার মনে হয় আপনি রেডি?
ইয়েস, আমি রেডি।
তাহলে চলে আসেন, আপনাকে আমরা
চলে আসুন।
একটা ওয়েটিং কার্ড দিতে চাচ্ছি।
থ্যাংক ইউ শেফ। ওয়েটিং কার্ড পেয়েছি, ভালো লাগছে। জাজরা আমার ফুড খেয়ে অনেক প্রশংসা করেছে। ঢাকা অডিশনের জন্য একটু টেনশন হচ্ছে নেক্সট রাউন্ডে আমি যেতে পারবো কিনা।
সীমানা যতই হোক দেয়ালে ঘেরা, এ আমারই মঞ্চ, জানি আমি সেরা।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
ওয়ালাইকুম সালাম।
আমি শারমিন সাবালিনা। আমি আজকে নিয়ে এসেছি পিনা কোলাডা পাইনাপেল কেক।
ভিজুয়ালি দেখতে অনেক সুন্দর হয়েছে।
হ্যাঁ, প্রেজেন্টেশনটা ভালো।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
কি করেন?
একাডেমিক পড়াশোনা শেষ করেছি আমি, আর বর্তমানে আমি কালিনারি আর্টসের উপরে ডিপ্লোমা করছি, আর হোমমেড একটা খাবারের বিজনেস আছে যেটা আমি আমাদের এলাকাতে রান করছি।
শামিন, আপনি কোকোনাট ইউজ করেছেন এখানে?
না সে
পিনা কোলাডাতে কিন্তু কোকোনাট যায়। ইটস আ মিক্সচার অফ পাইনঅ্যাপল এন্ড কোকোনাট।
কোকোনাট।
আমার কাছে মানে কেকের টেস্টটা বেশ ভালো লেগেছে।
আমার কাছেও কেকের টেস্টটা
ভালো
ভালো লেগেছে। ইটস নট টু সুইট, দেয়ার ইজ পাইনঅ্যাপল। when you call it
জুসি।
থ্যাংক ইউ ম্যাম।
আপনি এটা ছাড়া আর কি রান্না করতে পারেন? ঝাল খাবার কি রান্না করতে পারেন?
বিরিয়ানি, কাবাব, হচ্ছে মুঠি কাবাব, শামি কাবাব,
Internationally?
আছে জালি কাবাব,
ইন্টারন্যাশনাল কোনো খাবার?
যেমন চাইনিজের মধ্যে ফ্রাইড রাইস, চিলি চিকেন, ওনথন, থাই স্যুপ, এগুলো সব পারি।
চাইনিজের মধ্যে তো থাই আসে না।
নার্ভাস কেন?
ভালো আসছে না।
আমি জানি আপনি জানেন, বাট আপনি নার্ভাস কেন এত?
প্রথমবার আমার অডিশন তো সেই জন্য।
আগে কেন আসেন?
আগে আমি মানে গত সিজন আমি ভাবছিলাম যে দিব, তারপর ভাবলাম যে না, আমি একটু কাঁচা আসছি, এখানে তো দেখি অনেক সব দক্ষ সবাই আসে, ওই জন্য আমি ভাবছিলাম একটু ভালো মতো শিখে তারপর যাই, সেই জন্য।
সো আপনার মনে হয় আপনি এবারের জন্য রেডি?
হ্যাঁ, আমার মনে হয় আমি রেডি আছি এবারের জন্য।
তাহলে আমরাও রেডি। আসলে আপনাকে একটা ওয়েটিং কার্ড দেই।
থ্যাংক ইউ শেফ। সেরা রাঁধুনির ওয়েটিং কার্ড পেয়েছি, আর আশা করছি গ্র্যান্ড অডিশনের জন্য সিলেক্ট হব ইনশাল্লাহ। এটা পেয়েছি, এটাতে অনেক খুশি লাগছে। ইনশাল্লাহ গ্র্যান্ড অডিশনের জন্য সিলেক্ট হলে আরও বেশি খুশি হব।
Mình đã xong con nhím với cái màu nâu này nhé. Phần những lá mình sẽ tô bằng màu xanh. cũng trồng cây mình cũng tô bằng màu xanh nha. Đây nữa nè. Đây là các phần cái cây nhỏ ở dưới của một cái tán lá cây to nhá. Những cây cỏ nhỏ ở dưới á. Phần gốc cây mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu nâu nè. Thân cây. Đây là cái màu nâu nha. Phần thân cây mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu nâu nha. Một gốc cây cổ thụ rất là to. Với tán lá này mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu xanh lá này nhá.